It was a fun SEC opening day yesterday, but when the dust settled, it was the Bulldogs who proved to have the bigger bite. They come to the ballpark today, eager to try to clinch a series, while the Razorbacks look to defend the home field. A top 15 matchup between Arkansas and Georgia. Alongside of Sydney Parlee, I'm Josh Haley. Glad to have you with us this afternoon. This Razorback team, they had their hands full yesterday, and man, Georgia, those bats, my goodness.
They applied pressure from the start, and once the offensive damage was done, Josh, it was done.
Yeah, you look at how the big innings occurred yesterday. It was just the Bulldogs rolling early and often.
Early 1-0 lead by Jaden Goodwin with a solo shot to center. You can see the excitement. Georgia extended the lead, plating 5 runs in the top of the third inning off of 3 RBI singles, an RBI double, and a fielder's choice. The Georgia's offensive staple is just putting bat to ball and finding a way to execute, and that they did yesterday. Top of the fourth, completed Georgia's 7th and final run from a Tyler Ellison solo shot and her 7th of the season. She got the gold chain, and Georgia, they did it. Got the victory in the first SEC game of the season.
Yeah, and they had a strong performance in the circle. Randy Rolling was, well, quite frankly, just rolling along. Arkansas touched her up for a home run in the middle part of the game, but she stayed true, and very impressive was the veteran left-hander. That McDowell shot, the only bright spot for the Razorbacks offensively. Let's take a look at the starting pitcher today for the Arkansas Razorbacks, right-hander Cam Harrison. Sydney, what should we expect from her?
What we can expect to see from Cam Harrison today is this season she has implemented a draw ball within her arsenal. She's going to work through the zone. She also likes to stay within the margins of the zone, working vertically and east to west.
Well, she had a first-hand look at what this Georgia lineup can do yesterday, but it's all about that scouting report, right? Find a way to miss barrels. That's what she'll try to do. Easier said than done, though. This is a very potent lineup, and they can hurt you from any spot, 1 through 9. Jaden Goodwin, a usual big day at the plate, leading off with a home run in the first inning. Little check swing, oops, lazy fly ball into shallow right center, and Carly Davison tracks it down. 1 pitch and 1 out. That's got to be a good feeling for Cam Harrison.
For Harrison, that is a way to set the tone for the game. 1 pitch, 1 out. For Carly Davison, did a good job backtracking on that ball. That's what we saw from Georgia yesterday, though, Josh. They attacked early in the count, and that's what Cam Harrison can expect from Georgia today.
Jaden Goodwin moves up a spot in the lineup, hit 3-hole yesterday. Launched her 5th home run of the season with 2 outs in the first inning.
And she just has that presence in the lineup, Josh, with the way that she swings the bat, but it's also the teammate that she is. Coach Tony Baldwin talked about just the precedent that she sets for this team and the tone that she sets.
Yeah, she is that player as she takes a strike here. It's back-to-back games now for Goodwin with a home run, and she's got 6 extra base hits in her last 5 overall. 2-1. Quickly angles foul off the bat. Well, for Arkansas, it was a 17-game winning streak snapped yesterday. They were a perfect 11-0 here at Bogle Park. But it just goes to show, Sydney, in the SEC, you just never know what's going to happen. If you think you know or think you can predict based off of any sort of numbers or on paper, it never plays out that way, as Davison takes care of another one, and there's 2 down.
You're exactly right about that. And talking with Coach Courtney Deifel and Tony Baldwin before the series, Coach Deifel, she said, ready or not, here comes SEC. And to your point, Josh, any game is, and it's going to be anybody's day. It's just the way that the SEC is with the caliber of athletes and teams that you face.
Sarah Gordon digs in now with 2 outs. First pitch strike, Harrison coming right at him.
And that she is. And for Cam Harrison, filling up the strike zone is going to be important, but more than that, it's trusting your spin.
Outside to even the count at 1. Sarah Gordon saw 23 pitches yesterday, Sydney, in 4 plate appearances. She'll make you work.
And that's what Georgia softball is all about from the offensive side. They are not going to lie down on any one pitch. They battle every at-bat.
Ran that up and away. Got her to chase it.
And so far from Cam Harrison, she's utilizing her off-speed pitch and her rise ball.
Gordon able to get a piece to stay alive. The senior transfer from Louisville homered in all 4 games last weekend. About 33 career home runs for Sarah Gordon.
You'll take that all day.
One, 2. It was not so much what she was able to do yesterday swinging the bat, but really this was maybe just as impressive as how she can hit the ball a mile. But the fact that she had so many mature takes, drew 3 walks yesterday, didn't try to force the issue. This knocked through the right side. 2 out, 2 strike base hit for Sarah Gordon.
And another at bat from Gordon where she runs the pitch count up a little bit against Harrison, and then she finds a way to drive it through the 3-4 hole. And I was just about to say that, Josh, to your point, is it's her ability to see ball to strike, and she does not expand the zone. And when you're that type of hitter and you force the pitcher to have to come in the zone, that's when the pressure's applied.
Brings up Tyler Ellison. We'll talk about pressure applied. Ellison did that all day yesterday against the Razorback pitching staff. 3 for 3, including a solo homer in the 4th, and then ended up taking a 10-pitch walk in the 6th. So reached safely all 4 times. And that's in for a strike.
And another element to what Harrison is displaying so far, we're just in the top of the first inning, is not only with her off speed and her rise, she is staying away from the Georgia hitters, working that outer corner of the plate.
This ball lifted up towards right center. Reagan Johnson able to track it down, and the side retired. A hit, a runner left for Georgia. We'll introduce you to the Razorback lineup when we come back. Takes the circle for the Georgia Bulldogs here in game 2. Just a sophomore, Sydney, but she's got some stuff.
She absolutely does. And Maddie Johnson's been dealing with a little bit of some injury throughout the course of the season. Not many appearances, but for Arkansas, Maddie Johnson, she's got good velocity and spin. Very deceptive with the way that she works the ball through the zone. She's heavily reliant on that changeup and drop ball combo. And for Arkansas, Josh, coming off of yesterday's game, it is going to be pertinent that they attack early in the count, that they don't get behind, and that throughout the progression of the game, they make quicker adjustments.
Johnson, Kennedy, and McDowell to bat here in the first inning. First pitch just catches the lower edge for a strike. And we got a pitch comm issue, I think. Yeah, immediately she threw the hands up as to say, this thing's not working.
We've got to get that fixed.
With some help from her friends. Probably saying, what do you care? First pitch strike. You don't need that. Reagan Johnson, one hit yesterday. Now with 249 for her career, continues to inch closer to Hannah McEwen's program record.
And that pitch right there, Josh, is not missing by much from Johnson.
Now for Reagan Johnson, the career that she's had, you see players sometimes, maybe there's a little blemish in there one year where it's kind of down, but it just has never happened for Reagan Johnson.
The consistency of Reagan Johnson in the past 4 seasons, she has been the table setter for this offense. It's not just offense though, Josh, it's defensively too. She's already within the top of some offensive categories within the Arkansas program.
Able to take that pitch.
And the thing about Reagan Johnson is she utilizes her tools, but she just has such a great read on the defenses and what she chooses to do from at bat to at bat. I think that got Coach Gasso right there in the hole of the dugout. That one does not feel too good.
Dakota Kennedy saying, that's why you wear a helmet. Especially on a cold day like this. Temperatures are in the low 50s. No sunshine peeking through, contrary to yesterday when we were in the mid-70s at first pitch. And the payoff is down low. Reagan Johnson, a free pass here to start.
And for Reagan Johnson, she sees ball to strike so well, does not expand the zone. And more times than not with this Arkansas offense, when Reagan Johnson gets on, she is scoring.
Dakota Kennedy stepping in now. Going after the first pitch. For this right-hander, Maddie Johnson, transferring in from Georgia Southern. A dynamite 2025. Her ERA sat below 2 for most of the year. Finished out at 203 in 30 appearances. And close to 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
And I know Coach Baldwin is happy to see her back in the mix. That's one thing that he talked about is just the injuries that this pitching staff has had to face throughout the duration of the season so far, and just further shows the resiliency of this Georgia team. But to have Maddie Johnson back and to get her back out there, especially for SEC play, that was what he was hopeful for. He was actually hopeful to get his full staff back from Mississippi State in 2 weekends. But I'm sure he'll take her coming back today and getting the ball in game 2.
Yeah, without a doubt. And not only an in-state transfer, but it's somebody that they saw last year. Georgia and Georgia Southern matched up. And although Georgia won the ball game, Maddie Johnson, 6 innings, allowing just 1 run against the Bulldogs. So she had their attention. That's somebody that you imagine they pop up in the portal and it's, oh yeah, we remember her. Not too fondly, but we remember her.
And And the effectiveness of Johnson's drop balls, she throws it at different speeds, and that's what we're seeing so far being displayed against Johnson and Kennedy.
So payoff pitches back to back that go the way of the hitter. And Georgia talking things over here. It's so crucial, Sydney, we hear coaches talk about it all the time, but so crucial not to self-inflict. But too early walks, and you never know how these games are going to turn out, but you know, you see a couple of runs come across in the first inning and it could be the difference in the ball game. Might not get anything else.
And you're right about that, and especially with the caliber of pitching that you're going to face with an SEC play, you've got to take the passes when you have them.
This is kind of what you expect in a series. It's always going to be all hands on deck. The lineups are just too potent all around in this league to expect that, hey, if just because your pitcher's rolling for an inning or so, that can change oh so quickly.
And for Arkansas, no one better than to have Ella McDowell up with runners in scoring position, batting .435 on the season with runners in scoring position.
That'll get the job done. On the USA Softball Player of the Year watch list, preseason All-SEC for Ella McDowell. Now, coming off of an All-American season as a freshman, the Richmond, Texas product, you have to wonder, you know, can you match what you did as a freshman? But she has certainly answered those questions already more than 20 games into the season. She doesn't need to be who she was last year because she can be even better, she's shown. Hard to fathom and scary for SEC opponents.
Well, and to come in as a freshman and do what she did last season, and then it's not to say that then you reach your ceiling, but the fact that she has even more upside on both sides of the diamond, it speaks volumes.
Low for ball 4. A trio of walks here in the bottom of the first inning.
And for this Arkansas offense, they are just not chasing out of the zone. Johnson right now just not able to land that drop ball at that knee-high level.
They were so careful pitching to Tiana Bell yesterday. Everything was away. And you have to think they want to proceed with that same caution here, but you can't walk in a run.
No, you can't, and especially with Tiana Bell in the season hitting .500 with bases loaded, that's more times than not getting the job done.
Yes. And you know, she's in this situation, she's sitting there in the on-deck circle going, if you want to walk in a run, that's okay, but the smart money says you're going to have to throw me a strike, and I'm going to be ready for it.
And to be transparent here, Josh, with Maddie Johnson just being out, you know, for the first part of the season due to injury and not having that many innings under her belt, I don't foresee Coach Baldwin letting her go too long. And the hats are on and the fans are excited.
Yeah, they didn't get to do that yesterday. Borderline pitch. That's the margins that Coach Baldwin talks about, living in that area for your pitchers of an in-between pitch. Is it a ball? Is it a strike? That's where they want the location to be just about every time as Bell tees off on one in grand fashion. Seventh homer of the year for Tiana Bell.
Tiana Bell, wow. The excitement, Josh, And this is what Tiana Bell is all about right here, an up and out pitch, and she drives it for a grand slam. Huge response coming off of yesterday's game. You can see the excitement right here, Josh. She even turns around and gives a little dance to the crowd and her teammates. That's what it is all about.
She was not going to miss her moment. She knew there was going to be one pitch in there somewhere. 4-0 Razorbacks, and a big-time answer. Brindley Bain swing and a miss and falls behind 0-2.
And yesterday after the game, Coach Steifel went to a press conference and she talked about Josh just hoping from the offense today that they just go up to the plate and make different adjustments than what they had shown in yesterday's game.
Oh, that's a tough break for Georgia, and Maddie Johnson just grazed Brindley Bain, where Johnson was way ahead in the count. Georgia wanted to ask for clarification there, just to see, hey, is there anything, was there any in between there, or is it pretty cut and dry from your vantage point? Stephen Gould, the home plate umpire today. Marty Abazishan at first, Cameron Ellison at third. As Kaylee Wyckoff steps in and takes a first pitch strike. Well, for Tiana Bell, back-to-back weekends with a grand slam. Did it last Friday against Charlotte here in front of the home crowd.
I was just about to say, Josh, and you'll be lucky to maybe get a grand slam within your career, which is a big deal. But 2 in back-to-back weekends, wow.
Off speed, nasty pitch there from Maddie Johnson. Gets Wyckoff, and that's a good response from Maddie Johnson.
Absolutely, that is a great response from Johnson, and utilizing in that at-bat against Wyckoff, her off-speed pitch a little bit more. And that is the pitch that she is very reliant upon. She just needed to get the feel for that and to land it in the strike zone.
Davison, first pitch, popped up down into the right field corner. Sarah Gordon chases it down. 2 away here. Natalia Rio to the plate. 8th batter of the inning here for the Razorbacks. Going after the 0-1 and didn't catch any of the bat. So Bain able to get down to second base.
Just a little defensive miscue behind Miller, behind the dish.
Rio grounder to first, backhanded stop by Novickus. Touches the bag herself, but one big swing in the first for Arkansas, Sydney.
And that is all it took. Bases loaded due to walks, and Tiana Bell finds a way to get the job done. The energy is high here at Bogle Park.
Yeah, bring some extra layers to the ballpark today. A little chilly out there, but not enough to keep this Northwest Arkansas crowd away from Bogle Park. It's SEC softball, Sydney. As long as it's not, tornadoes or hailing, you got to be here, right?
The fans are going to show out regardless. And you said it. It's SEC softball. Everyone's excited, all parties involved, that it is conference play. And yesterday you all had beautiful weather up here at Bogle Park, and today a little bit of a different story coming off some rain.
Gabby Novickus takes a first pitch strike. Bogle Park, one of 3 to average over 3,000 fans in 2025. Oklahoma and Alabama, the other 2. Look out, runs in and got her right below the kneecap, it looked like.
For Cam Harrison, she just lost that pitch. She's mainly been staying on the outer half of the plate. Yeah, Josh, and the fans here at Bogle, I can speak to this since I played here, but it has been incredible to see the progression of just how Bogle has evolved, the program has evolved, and the amount of support that is shown throughout this state.
Kennedy Miller able to keep that close enough. Keep Novickus at first base. This is season 30 for both of these programs, in fact. Harrison calling time. Gonna get a fresh softball.
Good throwback from the umpire.
You gotta respect that,
throw.
right?
Yes. Gear and all.
That's a strike. The upper edge. 1-1 to Marissa Miller, who's got 9 RBI in her last 4 games. This senior out of North Gwinnett High School really on a tear as of late. Had an RBI hit yesterday in that big 3rd inning. Caught the upper outside corner there, 1-2.
And I'll tell you, Josh, Cam Harrison right now is pitching similar, in my opinion, of how Rolling was pitching to Arkansas yesterday, just living on the outside corner.
Count even to 2 now. Miller coming in, hitting .212. But they know her bat, as history has shown, is far better than that. And we're seeing her start to catch fire a little bit here at the right time of year. Lined right at the shortstop. Natalia Riel makes the catch.
A little bit of a defensive shift up the middle, and Rio was just right there. Going back to Miller just really quickly, Coach Tony Baldwin talked about that sometimes the statistics just aren't there. You've got to watch the play, and Miller is the type of hitter where she just pieces it together. She hits it right at girls, but then she'll group together some great hits.
Delaney Sullivan, they're doing some tinkering with the lineup. She hit 2-hole yesterday, batting in the 7th spot this afternoon. Did have a hit yesterday and scored a run.
And to speak to that, it's still early in the season. We are in the first weekend of SEC play, and at times it takes a little bit to mold your lineup together, see who fits where, kind of plug and play, especially as the progression of SEC play goes. You want that to be a little bit more secondary.
1-1 is fouled out of play. Did you kind of come to expect that as a player of the lineup is never set, and it doesn't have to be a case of, hey, somebody gets hot or cold and there's a knee-jerk reaction, but maybe more so just even on matchups?
Exactly right. And, both coaches talked to us about it before this series, but a lot of times it is about matchups and the type of, pitching staff that you're going to face. But that was to be expected whenever I was playing. Sometimes I was in the 5-hole, sometimes I was 7th, 9th. It just depended on the matchup and who we were facing on that given weekend.
I liked how humble you were there. You only mentioned bottom half of the order, but let's not let anyone forget you were an opening day leadoff hitter at one time.
That too, that too.
Count is full to Delaney Sullivan. Harrison's payoff is fouled off.
And man, Josh, I was thinking going into this weekend, what a great matchup for the first weekend of SEC play. Two teams that just put up huge offensive numbers, have the pitching depth, and both teams, they play such up-tempo pace of softball.
Second payoff. Look out. Grounded right back past the cleats of Harrison and through for a base hit. That is a gritty at bat from Delaney Sullivan.
Absolutely. Seeing a lot of pitches, fouling off a lot of pitches, especially with Cam Harrison coming in with that off-speed pitch. And then that swing right there, didn't do too much with it. It was an inside pitch that she just drove right back up the middle.
So two aboard with one out now, and Emily Digby will step in. And talking about the matchup, Sydney, these are two teams that were in the Super Regionals a year ago, both losing in the if necessary game, so one win away, and in a sense, one big hit away from finding themselves in the Women's College World Series, as this will drift out of play. And so, needless to say, for programs like these two, it's always the goal. Razorbacks trying to find their way there. They've been oh so close so many times. Georgia's last trip in 2021. Popped up into right field. Wyckoff under it, makes the catch. Runner trying to tag and get to third. What a throw. Nearly got her. On the money from Wyckoff out in right field, but Novickus able to slide in just ahead of it.
Truly a spot-on throw from Wyckoff in right field with her being left-handed and a little bit deeper into right field. I mean, man, it was right on the money. But Novickus, she just gets a great jump off of the bag.
Sullivan able to get to second on the throw. But that's big, though. You put pressure on the pitcher. You can't have one get away from you here. The catcher as well. And now you don't have the luxury of getting that third out in a force situation. Bottom of the lineup, Bailey Lindemuth.
And to go back to that at-bat, Josh, from Emily Digby, that hitting it to the right side of the field with a runner at second base, no matter which way it looked, she advanced her to be 60 feet from home. And that's another thing about this Georgia offense is they have great situational hitting. They will be a little bit reliant upon the long ball, but situationally hitting the ball to the right side of the field, going gap to gap, this is what the Georgia offense is made of.
1-1 pitch. Lindemuth just foul and over the glove of McDowell. Now Bailey Lindemuth knows about situational hitting. Playing for Texas Tech last year, she had an RBI in the Women's College World Series Finals to help force that winner-take-all national championship game against Texas. Harrison's 1-2. Spoils a good pitch there. Lindemuth a hit and an RBI yesterday from the bottom of the order. Tying away to even the count at 2.
And I've already seen an adjustment from the Georgia hitters so far, Josh. They're scooting up on the chalk line closer to the plate to try to take away that outside pitch. And for me, Josh, if I was in the box right now, I'm getting my toes on the chalk line. Until Cam Harrison shows me that she's going to beat me on the inside pitch, I'm going to cover that outside pitch.
See if she gets anything to square up here. Knocks it through the 5-6 hole. 2 in to score. And the Bulldogs cut the lead in half. What a battle at the plate by Bailey Lindemuth.
And just the response from Georgia, they find a way to punch back. This swing by Bailey Lindemuth, a great at bat. It's actually on the outer part of the plate that she gets her barrel just around enough to get through the 5-6 hole. And man, Josh, with the speed of Delaney Sullivan at second to score on a ball that was hit easily to left field. Just the speed of these girls on Georgia's staff.
Well, you called it, Sydney, about that kind of coming up to crowd the plate just so you're able to reach a pitch like that. You wouldn't think for a second that with the pitch location of Harrison that you'd be able to get the barrel around and knock one through the left side of the infield, but she did just that. This ball turned on, hit well to left and gone. Kirsten Roos in her 200th career start going yard. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game.
And this is SEC softball at its finest. And for Kirsten Roos, just the damage that she does at the top of the lineup. Cam Harrison coming up and in on her hands. And what a quick barrel inside and through the ball. That ball got out in a hurry, Josh.
Team leading 10th homer of the year for the leadoff. First pitch here to Jaden Goodwin is fouled off. Well, so many times you hear coaches talk about it. 2 out hitting. Can you do it with the scoreboard pressure? Georgia doing it right here. Able to lay off that pitch. They asked for the appeal. Didn't go. 1-1. "35th career home run for Kirsten Roos. Chopped back to the circle. Nice stab by Harrison. Fires across and able to get out of the inning. But Georgia answers in a big way. 4-4 through 1.5. Back in Bogle Park, 4-4 your score as we go into the bottom of the second inning. You look at the numbers offensively for the Razorbacks. Near the top in the country in multiple categories, but well, yesterday that was about as quiet as the Bats had been in a long time this season. Part of that 17-game winning streak, and more than 10 run rule victories in the early going of the non-conference slate. But it's going to take a lot more than just one day at the ballpark to say, okay, should we question what we're doing offensively right? There's just too big of a sample size already this year to say that this is going to be one of the most feared lineups in the country, just like it has been in past years for Arkansas.
And just the evolution of Arkansas softball's offense and the pressure that they apply on other teams. And going off of yesterday's game, that just wasn't Arkansas softball. And Coach Deifel talked post-game about she just wants to see her team have a different response and make adjustments today. And I would say that they have.
Two-one. Getting away a little bit there. I love to see that Johnson, though, even with giving up that grand slam, 3 straight walks, and then a hit by pitch after the grand slam, she showed why Georgia wanted her in more ways than one, but the mental toughness, she hung right in there, then retired the next 3 hitters and said, that was then. That happened in the past. It's not going to define what I do. And so she gets out of the inning, and they stick with her here in the second.
She's just so poised, Josh. Like, her body language did not change. She was so unfazed by it, and then came back with some really big responses, getting some quick outs at the bottom of that inning.
Just a sophomore, but a freshman All-American a year ago. And another payoff pitch that misses down low. That's the 4th walk, but again, it's not like they've been 4-pitch walks.
Sure.
3 of them have been full counts.
And Coach Baldwin, he talked about, as a coach, he's okay with there being a little bit more leniency on the walks. But I think right here we're going to go to a pitching change.
Well, both of these staffs have got some serious depth to them, and you'll probably have to use everybody maybe more than once before a series like this is over. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we come back. Change for Georgia here in the second inning. They go to the lefty, Ada Little. This freshman, she's got some good stuff, Sydney.
And for Ada Little, she is the ultimate competitor. She typically is utilized in relief for this Georgia staff. And for Arkansas, they can expect to see her sit in the upper 60s with good vertical movement.
First appearance of the series after Randy Rolling's complete game yesterday. Ada Little makes her 12th appearance and 11th time out of the bullpen. Facing the top of the lineup, Reagan Johnson, who walked first time up. Close pitch. Tough take by Johnson there.
It's not missing by much, Josh. And for Reagan Johnson, both at bats against Johnson and now Little, she is getting worked on the inner half of the plate.
Now takes a strike, 1-2. But as we've seen from Reagan Johnson, whenever there's 2 strikes, that's kind of when the at-bat is just getting going. Trying to run that across the lower edge. Taken off to second, and in time. They gunned down Kennedy Miller. Do you think there was some confusion on the count?
Josh, absolutely. She was a little bit hesitant coming off of the bag. We'll see that right here. She's a little bit hesitant, checks up, and then because I guess she was a few feet off of the bag, decides just to take second.
Outside, ball 4. That makes it sting a little bit more for the Razorbacks.
I'm going to say that she was not aware of the count with the way that she broke off of the bag and then decided to take second.
Here's Dakota Kennedy. She too walked first time up. First 3, in fact, did for the Razorbacks. Senior from Sacramento who transferred in from Arizona. Has been great in so many different ways. I think her teammates, one of the things they like is her baking skills. Did you hear her talking about that?
I absolutely did, Josh, and I was just about to bring that up. Hogs Plus did a recent segment on Dakota Kennedy, and she talked about her, did you hear this? The most favored item is her cinnamon rolls, but she's hopeful that she can eventually learn how to cook bagels, makes everything from scratch. Maybe she could just have a little side gig. I'm sure a lot of people would love baked goods from Dakota Kennedy.
Good range right there from Ruse to chase that down, throw her out. But yeah, that's going to make you popular. As if she didn't have enough going for her, right?
Not that student athletes don't have enough going on, but you know, you've got to have some outlets, right? When you're away from the field, things that you take other interest in. It's all about balance.
2 away. Ella McDowell to the plate. Takes the first pitch strike. That time way outside. 4 runs in the first for the Razorbacks. Georgia answering with some 2-out hitting in the second, including a 2-run homer to tie the ball game.
And I'm going to say the same thing, Josh, that I just said for Georgia in the top of the second inning. Arkansas's offense, they've made the adjustment. They're scooting up closer to the plate because they too are being pitched predominantly on the outer half of the plate.
Little wanted that call. She thought she had ran that right across the top edge of the zone. Routine grounder to short. Gobbled up by Digby and throws her out. McDowell retired. Razorbacks leave 1. We're all even at 4 going to the 3rd inning. Park. It's a 4-4 ball game. And as this game didn't need anything else exciting, we've got celebrity status in the press box with us. Last year's National Player of the Year, Bri Ellis, and current professional. How about this, Sydney? We're among greatness.
Bri, we are so happy to have you up here with us. So last weekend, you were here at Bogle Park. You had something really exciting, a mural that was presented while you were here, a new addition to Bogle Park. You have such left a mark on this program from the presence that you had on the field, the type of player that you were, the success that you had. To you, what was a pivotal moment that led to the becoming of Bri Ellis?
I would say I had a lot of failure leading up to my senior spring, and I had a lot of certain at-bats that kind of stuck with me. I would say one that I could think of from my junior season was we were playing in the SEC tournament against Missouri. It was towards the end of the game. We were down like 1 or 2. We needed a hit. There were runners on. It was clear as day. They weren't trying to pitch to me, and I was just trying to make something happen. And I end up, swinging at a pitch right outside the zone that I wouldn't normally swing at. So thinking about that at bat in the summer going into the fall really kind of changed my mindset to letting things happen and not trying to make something out of nothing and just letting the game work itself out. And that really changed my whole perspective.
Absolutely. And then playing here at Bogle Park, I just want to hear your thoughts. With your day-to-day routine, especially when it came to games, what was your number one objective? Wearing Arkansas across your chest and doing what you did out on the diamond. What was your number one objective every single day?
You just got to put on a show out there. Like, these people, they pay good money to make their way out here. They take time off from work. They, take time off from family to be out here to sit in the cold on a day like this. And they came here to watch you put on a show. So your job is to entertain the fans and people around you. And I personally loved including the fans in everything. And so we would love pointing to them, cheering to them, stuff like that.
Sarah Gordon grounds one to the right side. Davison's got it and one away here in the third. We put the camera on you yesterday, Bri, between innings. We didn't have it on you 5 seconds, and you were being asked for an autograph. I'm sure that's happening hundreds, if not thousands of times anytime you're making a trip back here. But how much fun is that just to see those fans, kind of awestruck by you?
It's crazy. It's still, I don't fully understand kind of why. I get why, but it's so weird to be the one where people are asking for your autograph rather than asking for other people's, because that was me growing up. We were big Texas A&M fans, and we would line up outside the locker room after every single game asking for signatures. So just great stuff.
Tyler Ellison at the plate now with one out in the third. Tie ball game. You had so many memorable moments here, but going back last April, Bri, following a home game, April 18th to be exact, and you were surprised on the field with a golden ticket, as here's a base hit back up the middle. But that golden ticket by Athletes Unlimited Softball League Commissioner Kim Ng, meaning that you had been drafted. You'd find out later in the season who drafted you and where, but what was that moment like? Oh,
it was all one big blur, honestly. Just so emotional. If you go back and look at any of the photos or videos, I was just a crying mess. It really kind of sat in with me that my dreams were starting to come true.
Arkansas is going to make a pitching change here in the top of the third inning. Tie ball game, 1 on for Georgia. We'll be right back and have Bri Ellis back with us too. Bullpen here in the third inning. They go to Peyton Burnham, Sydney.
And for Peyton Burnham, she and Robin Heron are usually that 1-2 punch, but what Georgia can expect from Peyton Burnham is she is going to be pitch to contact. She likes to allow her defense to work behind her, and within her pitch arsenal, she's going to work through different levels vertically through the zone.
Facing Gabby Novickus, got hit by a pitch first time up. We've got the 2025 USA Softball Collegiate National Player of the Year, Bree Ellis, with us, current professional as well. And talking about that moment last year when you were presented with the golden ticket on the field, but you got to share that moment with your existing teammates.
Yeah, miss them so much. That was a moment that I will absolutely never forget. It really all hit me all at once, and I was overwhelmed with emotions, clearly. And just for Coach Deifel to be there, Coach Gasso, Coach Gibb, Coach Michael, the staff, like it's never just one person. It was every single person in this kind of family that we built.
This popped up and just fouled down the right side.
And for those emotions, I can only imagine, Bree, first of all, just the ability to play at the next level and in the SEC, the highest level of softball, but didn't to be granted the opportunity to play professionally, arguably so because of what you did on the collegiate level. What are your new goals? What are your new objectives? Obviously, there's different expectations. It's a different stage. It's different than collegiate softball. So what has that experience been like for you?
Well, playing the best in the world is never an easy feat.
They go to second for one, to first. 5-4-3 double play. Razorbacks flashing the leather. Cutting off our stories in the process, but we'll get back to them on the other side of the break. Get us to the bottom of the third inning. All even at 4. Razorbacks chasing a game in this SEC opening series after falling yesterday to Georgia. Both teams have already had to go to their bullpen. Ada Little back to the circle, and Tiana Bell to the plate for Arkansas. Bree, you were at the game yesterday. You got to see how many times that they pitched away from Tiana Bell. But, man, she was ready for that pitch that she saw in the first inning, though. You've been in those shoes so many times throughout your career, though. How tough is that to just be patient and say, I might see 25 out of the zone, but I'm ready for the one that's in the zone?
Yeah, you just use those pitches out of the zone to get your timing down, really see the ball out of the pitcher's hand. Just always ready for those moments.
Grounded to third here. Lindemuth makes the play, and there's one down.
So, Bree, before we went to break, you were talking about playing at the next level, playing professional softball, and the experience of what it's been like for you.
Yes, and the goal. So, playing the best in the world is very, very, very hard, and kind of relearning what it was like to be at the bottom of the totem pole again after such a successful season was really hard, and almost like learning how to fail again after so much consistent success in one season, and just at the highest level. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It was tough to navigate, but in the same breath, like, I learned so much. I have matured so much as a human, and am honestly a completely different person than I was when I went there in June, and am just incredibly grateful for the opportunity and experience.
Well, you are an amazing human, and it shows when you play, but then even off of the field. And one thing that I just have been able to watch and you evolve, and I'm so fortunate that I've been able to, but just your platform and the way that it's grown. And you had an incredible opportunity just a couple weeks ago to go to the spring training sites. Obviously, Major League Baseball is back, and you're hanging out with Freddie Freeman, Alex Bregman, Mike Trout. I mean, the biggest names in professional baseball. What were you doing at the spring training? And there's a photo right there. I mean, come on. So what was that experience like, and what were you doing?
Oh my gosh, well, those are my boys now, so I am so grateful. I'm looking at Kyle Tucker right now. I was a big Astros fan, so heartbroken for that. But being there, we were just doing promo stuff for AUSL, finding ways to spread the word about who we are and kind of use the platform that MLB has given us basically through the partnership, and using that to elevate, to spread word, and kind of, you know, remind everyone who we are, and we're just the same as them.
Now, did you get to take any BP with them, show them your skills?
I did not know actual BP, but we were comparing swings and interviews and stuff, which was crazy. My icebreaker for the whole weekend was talking swing with Freddie Freeman.
Gosh.
That was nuts. What a way to get a week started. But, I mean, an actual dream come true.
Okay, so tell us, what was one of the biggest things that you talked about within the swing with Freddie Freeman, and comparable, you know, between the two of you, or just in general about just the swing in baseball and softball?
I would say I really liked what he had to say about his preparation. He keeps it very simple, basically does the same thing every day. He knows, I mean, he's been in the game forever, so he knows what his body needs and sticks to his routine every single time.
And would you say that you kind of mirrored your routine like that way, the way that you would prepare? What did your preparation look like?
So before the conversation, I would say I would be trying different things, whatever I'd feel that day. But after he said that and it really resonated with me, I was like, I'm going to start simpling it down and making it much clearer to me, because sometimes I can get so in my brain and mechanical that that's what I carry into the game with me. So just trying to dumb it down a little bit pregame, make sure I've got my swing ready, and focusing on through the ball, line drives, just the simple stuff.
And I'm going to let Josh jump in. I can get to talking, but when we talk about mechanics, what is maybe one thing that you worked on prior to your last season here at Arkansas? I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but did you change anything? I know you had great success leading up to that.
A lot of it had to do with keeping my hands loose and overall body loose, but mainly the hands, because when I get really excited and I really want to hit, I get really handsy is what I call it, and that's when you'll see me pop up or, you know, be yanking stuff to the other dugout. So loose hands kind of keeps me nice and simple with the ball.
Gotcha. So I did see one video of you and Coach Gasso, and it was, you were holding almost like a rope or a string, and you were really loading on your backside, slow to your front side. Was that to work on keeping your hands back? So I just saw that video, and I was really trying to analyze and take away what you were working on in that.
Yeah, I have never seen that contraption in my life until he brought it out. That was my junior year in the fall, and I basically told Coach Gasso, like, look, I know I have holes in my swing. I was able to manufacture home runs in the past, but I want to be more than that. I want to be more than a home run hitter. I want to be everything. And so to start that, we worked on keeping the weight on my back leg, and it all starts with that foundation in your legs and using the ground and being able, I don't know if you've ever seen Aaron Judge hit or his swing. He stays very stacked on that back leg and just picks it up, puts it down for his front leg. So that's what we were kind of mimicking there, and it really just brought the efficiency back in my swing that I was lacking.
Sure. And your lower half's what supplies the power, so that makes perfect sense. I'm going to throw it to Josh. Josh, I know I've asked a lot of questions.
I'm just sitting here enjoying the conversation. Are you kidding me? Come on. Carly Davison at the plate after a pair of walks with one out here in the third. And Davison takes the ball 3-1 now, and in danger of walking. The bases loaded, which we saw in that first inning as well. Ada Little's 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, they're loaded up, and the Beer Hats can come out yet again as Italia Rio will step to the plate for the Razorbacks. You know, we were hearing a recruiting story from Georgia coach Tony Baldwin. Bree, he was telling us about recruiting some of his current players back at the PGF National Championships in the 12U division. So this was a number of years ago, but he just talked about all the talent that was in a small cluster there in those fields. And he said, you were on one field. You were, of course, playing with your Impact Gold teammates for a national championship. Among your teammates was current Razorback Kaylee Wyckoff.
Yeah, we grew up together a little bit, and really, I mean, 12U were the days. I'm telling you, that PGF tournament, that was the place to be. And I think I actually remember my dad after the game being like, Coach Baldwin was there. Like, he was watching you play, all this stuff. I was like, that's insane. This is crazy. Gosh, I wish we had pictures to show, because there's so many pictures and there were so many great legendary players on that team.
That's what Josh and I were talking about before the broadcast, just some of the names that Coach Baldwin was sharing with us between your team and the couple of the other teams that he was there watching, and we're like, my gosh, to talk about 12U softball, and that's what that looked like. But how quickly things can go by. It all goes by so fast.
How about the thrill for you, Bree, of hitting that first professional home run off of, I mean, arguably, if you want to talk about well-rounded players in all facets of the game, against Alicia Ocasio last summer. What was that moment like, hitting your first homer?
Well, she's a legend. She's the coolest. It was so cool to get to meet her this summer. That home run was honestly really weird. I don't know if I've ever hit a home run barely inside of the right field foul line. I'm usually the opposite in left field, so must have meant something was going right with my swing that day, but I just felt very loose. I felt back to the basics. I wasn't thinking, and it just felt great to kind of get that first one out of the way. It's always a good thing.
Sure.
Destin Howard takes over in the circle for Georgia. Sydney, this is just another testament to all the depth that they've got, but a talented right-hander in Destin Howard.
And Georgia's pitching staff does have that depth, and this is what Coach Baldwin talked about with us before the series, is building this pitching staff for this season. What they can expect from Howard is she's going to be a high-velocity thrower sitting in the low 70s. She's got great success against right-handed hitters with that drop curve change combo. And for Howard, it's managing the strike zone.
Rio back through to center field. Everyone advances a base, and the Razorbacks are back in front. The player who went 9 of 10 in the regional last year.
And Rio just driving the ball right back up the middle, finding a way to get it done and get the Hogs back on top. So Bree, talking about playing at the next level, and I know I keep bringing up a lot about preparation and all of the things, but I know there's a lot of little girls out there listening, and you obviously share a lot of insight to your day-to-day life with your platform. And but what does it look like right now for you in the off season? It's, I'm sure, a little bit different.
This lifted into right field, deep enough to score another run. Tagging Kaylee Wyckoff in to score, and it's 6-4 Razorbacks.
But to go back to that thought, what is it looking like for you right now with the way that you're preparing? And is that back home for you? Just what is life looking like right now with the off season?
I am happy to say that I am living the dream, absolutely. I get to do all the fun stuff with none of the school part of being a student athlete. Yes, I'm back home in Houston. I have a little apartment with my dog. It's just the two of us. I wake up every day, Monday through Friday. I go lift a little bit. I have a personal trainer. He gets me, back in shape. That was a little crazy to get back in shape after the break, but we're back there now, thank goodness. So getting stronger and faster every day. I take care of my body a lot usually after that. I'll go on walks with my dog, just very peaceful, calming, kind of recentering myself after the most insane year of my life and just finding who Bri Ellis is outside of the softball player, which has been the big question my whole life. And we're getting there. We're not totally there, but we're getting there.
Well, we talked about on the broadcast earlier, it's all about balance. Even like Dakota Kennedy, really liking to bake. But, that is an adjustment for a lot of girls. I mean, you spend a lot of time dedicating it to your craft and your sport. And I think everybody goes through that. So, it just takes a minute. But you're just doing such wonderful things. What are you most excited for going into this next season or this coming season?
I would have to say, from the bottom of my heart, is seeing my teammates again. Seriously, seeing my friends, because we're kind of all over the country. Some are playing in Japan, some are in Mexico. So they're all over the place. And just to be in the same room with them again after only knowing them for 3 months is amazing. And I'm itching for that. And then again, to be able to do the thing I love every day, there's nothing like it. And just sitting here watching this game, it's like I'm itching to get back out there. I can't wait.
So coming back here to Bogle, we touched on it a little bit. Girls are coming up and wanting autographs. And what is it like now just sitting in the stands here at Bogle Park and being able to take it in?
Well, I'm still trying my best to keep my mouth shut about the umpires. I'm still getting better about that. I still don't want them to have it out against us. So that's the thing. I'm very loud, and I got to be mindful of who's around me because who knows what's going to come out of my mouth, in all honesty. So it's really exciting. I'm glad to be on the other side with the fans who are such a big part of the foundation of this family and who come out on days like this, again, where it's just very cold out there and do everything they can to support us.
Slap to third, and in time, Lindemuth makes the play by a half step. Razorbacks get 2, though. Bri Ellis, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and we'll look forward to having you on a broadcast, too, in the coming weeks.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Arkansas legend Bri Ellis. We're back for the 4th after this. To 4 Razorbacks. Hey, what a great third inning, Sydney. We got to talk with a legend in Bri Ellis, and she saw our former team plate a couple of runs and retake the lead. This has been a back and forth affair. 4 runs in the first for the Razorbacks. Georgia answered in the second, and now the Hogs back in front.
And I'd have to say that this is highly anticipated, Josh, with two programs like Arkansas and Georgia. This game is all about making quick adjustments. The quicker you make an adjustment, the quicker you are to having success, and we're seeing that from both sides.
Back to work for Peyton Burnham in the circle. Yesterday, Georgia 7-2 and 12 hits, which is the most that the Razorbacks had given up in a game this year. Lifted up into right field. Wyckoff there to make the catch. Marissa Miller retired here to start the fourth inning. Well, Burnham came on in the third and got that ground ball that resulted in a double play. Got the Razorbacks out of the inning. Looking for the element of surprise there, Delaney Sullivan. Now, 4 wins now for Georgia over teams currently in the top 25. And Delaney Sullivan hitting nearly 400 in those ball games. So playing a massive impact is the former Kentucky Wildcat.
And Coach Baldwin talked about her offensive piece to the puzzle, but also just the exceptional work that she puts out in the outfield, especially coming off the heels of losing Dallas Goodnight, in which she was the nation's leader in runs saved.
No, that's a great point. You look at the offense sometimes, but those runs count just the same if you're preventing the other team from scoring them, and Sullivan is fit right in. Pitch would have been borderline top of the zone, able to foul it off. Got her Bulldog career started off on the right foot, homering on opening day. This ball is hit well, but playable for Johnson. In front of the track, makes the catch. And there's 2 down here in the top of the fourth inning. On this chilly and overcast day where the sun was never really shining, but as it starts to set with the cloud cover, it really feels like a night game. That magical under the lights type of feel here at Bogle Park, Sydney, as you know all too well.
It does, and usually in a lot of preseason games, you're playing more during the daytime within tournaments, and depending upon what those schedulings look like, there is nothing like playing under the lights. It just adds another element, and how beautiful behind us right here, the sun setting.
Emily Digby at the plate, retired first time up.
One thing that I loved that Coach Baldwin talked about with Digby, and I've really not heard this, Josh, is him talk about that he refers to her as tonic water because she goes well with everything.
Yeah, ball barreled up right there, but just not in the right spot. Right into the mid of Reagan Johnson, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the fourth. Oh, that's some pretty good company to be in right there for Dakota Kennedy, the first-year Razorback. Last Sunday against Kansas, 3 homers, joining Rylan Hedgecock and Danielle Gibson as the only Razorbacks to have 3 or more home runs in a single game.
Gosh, Josh, I mean, 3 home runs in one game, along with Rylan Hedgecock and then Danielle Gibson, her notorious home run cycle. But with Dakota Kennedy, I mean, just what a athlete to have to be a part of your program for her last year of play, and to be able to have a success like that.
Takes a first pitch strike here. We might see her get her 200th career hit tonight, sitting on 199.
Reaching so many milestones. And I know I keep bringing this up on the offensive side of things because we technically don't have that much on the defensive side for moments to bring this up. But, I mean, 2 years ago she won the Gold Glove, and offense is so important, but so is defense. And to have an athlete that's so versatile, that plays well on both sides of the diamond, that is Dakota Kennedy.
Yeah, that National Gold Glove in 2024. 3-time All-Conference defensive team selection as well. Career fielding percentage of .993. Slow roller, this is trouble. Career hit number 200 for Dakota Kennedy. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
And she will take it. Reaching 200 career hits is a huge milestone. Congratulations, Dakota Kennedy. We saw as she got to first base, she gave Coach Parker Staggs over there a nice smile.
Lots more to come, though, in the career for Kennedy. Oh, you talk about great finds in the transfer portal, but you know, you have to think, too, there's a reason why players end up choosing where they do. As back up the middle for Ella McDowell. Players like Bree Ellis, who we were just talking to, why did they choose to come to Arkansas? And players like Dakota Kennedy, so they can see what's already been built and established here, but also what they're building towards and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and to continue to do further with the program. And, you know, we hear it from Coach Courtney Deifel in the conversations that we have, and I had my personal experience, but it comes down to the culture. It is the culture, and Bree Ellis will talk a little bit about it, but the coaching staff, you know, really honing in on who you are as a person off of the playing field as well. But Arkansas has undoubtedly became a place where girls want to come and play. And to tell you, Josh, it's been a little while ago, but not too long ago, it wasn't. And this grand slam by Tiana Bell is what put Arkansas on the board early, being down by 4 runs. You can see an excitement from Tiana Bell.
Lofted this into right field. Green light given, now late stop sign. Smartly so. They'll hold up, and they are loaded now. Beer Hats coming out again. Brinley Bain is the Razorback hitter, but not before Georgia talks things over.
And for Brinley Bain, Josh, we talk about transfers coming in, freshmen. It used to kind of be the rule of thumb that when a freshman would come in, it would take a little bit for them to pick up to the pace of play. But Brinley Bain, she has settled in and it just has had a monstrous season.
Well, she'll be facing a new pitcher. Bases are loaded, nobody out when we come back to Bogle Park. New pitcher is Presley Harrison, and she inherits quite the predicament, Sydney. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Bases loaded, and with Brinley Bain up to bat, who has been red hot. But what Bain can expect from Harrison, and she has been battling a little bit of some injury, hasn't had as many appearances, but she sits in the upper 60s with good screw curve movement through the zone.
That just missed up high. One. There's a strike.
And for Brinley Bain, batting .667 with bases loaded. That's just another statistic to add to the almost video game-like numbers that Brinley Bain has shown throughout the duration of the season.
Called strike 3. Back-to-back pitches on the upper half of the zone. Harrison out of the bullpen. Takes one giant step in trying to get out of this jam.
In a huge pitch by Harrison to stop the bleeding right there. Bases loaded and comes in with a tight curve on the outer half of the plate.
Ball one to Kaylee Wyckoff. Lifted up. The infield fly in effect, and then a collision at second base. Everybody appears to be okay. But 2 away now. Glad to see everybody back up, and nobody appears to be ailing. Thumbs up pointed towards the dugouts to say, yeah, we're all good here. Carly Davison going to try not to let the opportunity for the Razorbacks slip away. These are some nerves of steel, though, for the freshman Presley Harrison.
Just a competitor. This Georgia team, it just has uber competitiveness and resiliency. And to talk about a player like Carly Davison, Josh, I mean, talk about a jump offensively from last season to this season. She has already reached her home run total, from last season.
And the average is skyrocketing. Popped up, foul side, and just out of the glove. Gabby Novickus giving chase. It's a tough play to try to make.
Extremely tough play, especially for a first baseman to have to drop step and go back on that ball. And for Sarah Gordon, she's playing pretty deeply into right field with her defensive placement.
Up high for ball 2, so Davison given a little bit of second life here.
And for Davison on a 1-2 count with a late breaking rise ball like that, it's a great take, especially in a pressurous situation.
Battled off. Hits even at 5 apiece in this ball game. But yeah, to your point about Davison, hit .272 a year ago. Good hitter, but has been awesome this year. Sharp grounder, but right to second base. Ruse flips to Digby. Fielder's choice to end the inning. Harrison out of the bullpen. Gets the Bulldogs out of a jam. top 10 just littered with SEC teams, 3 of the top 4. And then you have Alabama, Florida, and Arkansas all in the top 10 as well. Georgia trying to say, hey, we belong up there, and we're going to try to prove it by winning the series, already with a 1-0 lead. Just another year in the gauntlet that is the Southeastern Conference schedule, though, right?
Every game, every weekend, it's physically and emotionally tasking because of the caliber of competition that's being faced.
Bailey Lindemuth, first pitch, deep center field is out of here. A 2-out, 2-run scoring single in the second to tie the game, and she cuts the deficit to 1.
And man, Georgia softball just showing some teeth for Lindemuth, coming up with a big-time swing. That momentum shift, Josh, from what Presley Harrison just did defensively and in the circle, just bleeding over into that swing from Lindemuth. And we again have a different ball game.
It's only the second home run that Peyton Burnham has given up this year. And it breaks up a span for Burnham where she had really been going good as of late. Only 2 earned runs allowed in her last 22 innings pitched. And that's the first blemish against her here this evening. See how she responds here, coming back through the top of the lineup. Kirsten Roos, of course, has already homered today. Her 10th of the season to left field back in the second.
And this is a player that Coach Baldwin got out of the portal, and he just said going into the season and after the progression of the season that she's doing everything that they had hoped that she would do and more.
Talia Riel makes the play there. Good response from Peyton Burnham.
And man, Josh, the range that Rio has up the middle, she just makes those plays right behind the bag almost effortless.
First pitch here, towering fly ball, playable in center for Reagan Johnson. And Jaden Goodwin retired. 2 away now here in the top of the 5th. Bailey Lindemuth, who had 5 homers last year, but the one to lead off this inning, her first of 2026. How about that? Ella McDowell, quick hands, robs Sarah Gordon. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing. Georgia gets a solo homer to pull to within 1. Heck of a ball game we got going on a Saturday night. SEC play, game 2 of this conference opening series. Josh Haley and Sydney Parr Lee with you from Bogle Park. Both teams have had their moments to shine in this game, but both just keep answering the other, don't they?
Gosh, yes, and such gritty performances from both teams on both sides of the diamond. Georgia's had to go and utilize a little bit more of their pitching depth. And for Arkansas, the response from Peyton Burnham. I mean, we have a classic softball game right here at Bogle Park.
How about this freshman Presley Harrison back to the circle for Georgia? I mean, this thing could have gotten away last inning. It was already a 6-4 lead for the Razorbacks. They had bases loaded, nobody out. They bring Harrison in out of the bullpen, and she gets out of it unscathed. And then they homer in the ensuing inning to cut it to just 1. This could very easily be a 4 or 5 run ball game if that doesn't happen.
The grittiness of Harrison, and she was just unfazed, Josh, completely unfazed. And I'm going to say out of the pitching staff tonight, her velo has been the hardest, so a little bit of an uptick velo-wise that Arkansas saw last inning from Harrison. And just the way that she is having such late break on the spins of her pitches through the zone.
Trying to nibble there at the upper edge, but it's 3-1 to Italia Rio. RBI hit last time up for the senior shortstop. Swinging through that one, and now a full count.
Man, Josh, Harrison's ball just has such late break. I mean, it is hopping out of her hand. She works very, very quick on the mound.
Just outside. Is it harder to pick up a ball that breaks east-west whenever the sun sets and you're under the lights here, or does it not make any difference?
I don't know. To me, it never really made much of a difference, but I'll tell you, with what Harrison's doing is she's doing such a great job of hiding the ball. And what I mean by that, from the start of her circle to her release point, she keeps the ball very well hidden. It's really hard to see it out of the hand.
Trying to lay down a bunt, but it popped up. Kennedy Miller, and that a big step for Georgia again. Keep the Hogs at bay. It's the first out while keeping the runner at first, and now it's back to the top of the lineup and Reagan Johnson.
And for Kennedy Miller, understanding that Harrison is an up ball pitcher, you've got to work the barrel above that pitch.
Johnson, a couple of walks today. Grounded out to third last time up. Strike, upper inside corner.
And she is just nailing that top half of the strike zone, starting the ball out about belly button high, and then right at the last minute getting up under the hands.
Johnson hit a blistering 381 in SEC play last year. That's twice in her career where the numbers go up for her in terms of batting average once you get to what's supposed to be the time of year when batting averages start to plummet, but not for Reagan Johnson, which is just a testament to the hitter that she is.
In the speed that she has, Josh, she puts so much pressure on defenses, because even when she puts the ball on the ground, they are having to rush to get the ball over to first because of the quickness that she has down the first baseline. More times than not, her hits are just balls that she's putting on the ground on the infield.
Gets rung up here. The appeal down to first. And now Georgia's going to talk some things over here. Take another look, though.
So her barrel, from that point of view, did cross the plate. She did get the barrel out and around. If she were to have held her barrel back, would have been a different story. But once your barrel crosses the plane of the plate.
That's a tough break for Johnson and the Razorbacks.
And I think the conversation here, Josh, is with it being a 6-5 ball game with 2 outs on the board, just keeping the ball down in the zone, trusting her spin, not letting anything get up and elevated out of the ballpark.
Kennedy takes a big cut at the first pitch. And now even at 1 to the 2-time All-American Dakota Kennedy. Reunited here in Fayetteville with her former travel ball teammate, Tiana Bell. They were travel ball teammates going back into the 8th grade.
So many friendly connections and getting to end a career with one another.
Trying to make some magic happen with 2 outs here.
And for Presley Harrison, she is just heavily relying upon her low rise ball and breaking the ball on the outer part of the plate.
Covering up with 2 strikes.
Yeah, and we really see Dakota Kennedy and this at bat right here as Harrison continuously works on the outer half of the plate, working away from her, scooting closer and closer to that chalk line to get her barrel out to that pitch.
Scorched on the ground, but foul. This is 4th time out of the bullpen for Harrison in her 8th appearance of the year. Pitched in their midweek game against Georgia State. Got the start, 1 1/3, 3 hits and an earned run. She's been tough though out of the bullpen. Her relief numbers in 3 prior, 8 1/3 and only 2 earned runs. 13 strikeouts and no walks as a reliever. Does have 1 today. That's how Italia Rio got on base to start the inning. But she's trying to pitch around it here. Payoff pitch, of course. Got to add to the drama. The tension already so thick here at Bogle Park. Lined into left center for a base hit. Those are the mentally tough at-bats that you look for from veterans like Dakota Kennedy.
And Dakota Kennedy in that at-bat just fouling off pitches that are about a ball off of the plate, forcing Harrison to bring it back over the heart of the plate. And that's the type of swing you want to see from Dakota Kennedy after a hard-fought battle.
McDowell takes a first pitch strike on the inside edge. Now down for a ball. That was a 10-pitch battle by Dakota Kennedy. Two and one now. A hit and a walk today for McDowell. Third team All-American recipient last season. Turns on one and hits it deep to left center. One hops to the wall. One is in to score. Kennedy will hold up at third.
And Ella McDowell, just unwavering consistency. This pitch is elevated in the zone. She barely gets through extension, just getting to contact and driving it off of the left field wall. Stepping up in a huge moment. That's what Ella McDowell does.
McDowell with her 5th double of the year. Team leading RBI total coming in. He's got 24 now, just one behind this batter, Tiana Bell, who hit the grand slam in the first inning. And Bell takes a first pitch strike.
And I'll tell you, Josh, the way that Harrison was coming out at the bottom of the 5th inning and the way that she was pitching, the turning point to this inning was Dakota Kennedy's at-bat. The quality at-bat that she had, the swing that she put on the pitch.
Bell pops one up. Kirsten Roos comes in, makes the call on the catch, and the side retired. Razorbacks get one, though, for some insurance as we go to the 6th. Well, there's been some big swings so far tonight. Kirsten Roos, Tiana Bell, each with big-time home runs. Arkansas, who jumped out to a 4-0 lead, only to see Georgia tie it up once. And now adding a little bit of insurance, and Peyton Burnham going to try to make it stick here as we move into the 6th inning. But a lot of softball left to be played. This is what it's all about. Tyler Ellison now to lead off. 4-5-6 for the Bulldogs. Courtney Deifel says the off-speed pitch, it's the equalizer, and Peyton Burnham's got a good one.
And when it is on, and that is her table setter to the other pitches in her arsenal. She really thrives off of that off-speed pitch, especially when she can land it efficiently.
Burnham, her last 5 appearances entering the weekend, 20 1/3. Only 2 earned runs. Close.
And with that off-speed pitch, Josh, I mean, you just touched on it, but she will utilize that early in the count to get ahead, and then comes back with once she gets ahead in the count with her rise ball.
Off the end of the bat, takes one hop. Rio. She can cover some ground now.
The range of Italia Rio, she just makes those plays look effortless. That's why she's one of the best in the nation. I mean, look at this ball, Josh. It's on the other side of second base, and just the range and the read off of the bat to gun it over to first base. And her body, it's just effortless, the athleticism that she displays.
Razorbacks entered the weekend as the top fielding team in the nation. 991 entering the SEC opener. Burnham, quick reaction there. Retires Gabby Novickus. Going back to the play from Rio, though, too, you know, we saw Davison totally back off of it as well because she knew that Rio had the best angle and the best chance at that. She was way out of her way. There was never going to be even a thought of a collision there.
And, you know, just her footwork and the agility that she has at short, but it's the initial read that Rio gets off of the bat. When you see ball hit bat, she's already taking 2 steps where she's supposed to go or where the ball's going to end up. She gets such great reads off of the barrel angles.
Ground ball back up the middle. Marissa Miller saying, let's see somebody go get this one. Makes it to where the Bulldogs don't go quietly here in the 6th. That was 5 straight retired by Burnham after the leadoff home run from Bailey Lindemuth last inning. Natalie Donaldson will run at first base. Now, Peyton Burnham was in the circle against Georgia in the SEC tournament last year. Got the start, a no decision, but pitched well. 4 innings, only 1 earned run. So for some of these Bulldogs, they remember her. Strike on the outer half.
And for Peyton Burnham, the response that she has had, what she's doing so effectively, Josh, is just changing speeds to keep the Georgia hitters off balance.
Lofted up to short. Rio's got it. Side retired. 1 left stranded. Hogs stay in front, 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Back in Fayetteville, 7-5 lead for 9th-ranked Arkansas, trying to even up this series and set up a rubber match on a Sunday afternoon. How about this freshman, Sydney Brinley Bain? Now has reached in all 22 games. She's reached safely twice today, but just an incredible start to her career.
What an incredible start, Josh. I mean, to reach safely in every single game that you've played. But we talk about it, a lot of times freshmen coming into a program, especially at this level, it takes a little bit to get adjusted and acclimated. For Brinley Bain, it absolutely has not. And the one statistic I personally love to look at the most is on-base percentage. And going into the weekend with a .639, sitting 3rd nationally and 1st in the SEC, and she is a freshman. She's going to have a long, great career. And the thing about her swing, Josh, is she sees ball to strike so well, doesn't really expand the zone, get outside of the strike zone, but it's so simple. She has such a simple swing, doesn't try to do too much.
Courtney Kneifel said that, coming to Arkansas camps, that she kind of connected with DJ Gasso, and we've seen firsthand, you pair up hitters that have that approach to the plate and the talent to go along with it with Coach Gasso, and it can be deadly. Brinley Bain, not just a great softball player, though, as she gets her third free pass of the evening. This time of year might make you think a little bit, too, of basketball. She scored over 1,000 points in her high school basketball career.
And we're seeing that so much more nowadays with girls at a younger age and in high school playing multiple sports. And I am a big believer and advocate to do so, because one sport translates into the next sport, and it just helps you all the way around athletically.
Pinch running at first base, Kyler Del Duca. Kaylee Wyckoff takes first pitch up high.
She's another player on this Arkansas staff that last weekend reached 200 career hits. So many milestones, so many records being set.
Went 8 of 15 at the plate with 9 runs driven in, 2 homers in the Woo Pig Classic. '81 career extra base hits for Kaylee Wyckoff, and gets pegged here. Razorbacks have had the leadoff aboard in 5 of 6 innings here this evening. Another pinch runner. Casey Wood, Arkansas native. Returning player, the former standout from Bentonville High School. Carly Davison, first pitch. And our second infield fly rule in effect of the ball game. As Ruse makes the catch, 1 away, and that's a big and almost must-have out for Harrison and the Bulldogs. Being down 2 on the road going into the last inning is already a tall enough task. They know it. And they know they kind of try to slam the door here as Italia Rio steps in. How about the growth of Rio over the course of her career? Dealing with adversity, having to miss most of the 2024 season, Sydney, but you're just seeing what hard work and persistence pays off to. Just having a marvelous year so far.
Yes, and watching Rio over the duration of her career and defensively just so stellar. One thing that I have noticed within her offensive approach and swing is the way that she utilizes her lower half to supply her power so much more. That's been one thing that I've noticed that she has changed mechanically in her swing, is not relying upon so much of her hands to do the work, but her lower half. And I think that's been a testament to leading to a lot of her offensive success and growth.
Saar hit .318 a year ago, drove in 38 runs. And an all-region selection as the count even at 2 now.
And for Miller behind the plate, that was critical, keeping that ball in front of her and not letting it get past her.
This ball hit well to left center, but in position. Goodwin makes the catch and holds the runners. Two down here in the bottom of the sixth. Razorbacks will pinch hit in the 9-hole for Kennedy Miller. It'll be Ramsey Walker, sophomore from Shreveport. How about Walker already this year? And one of the hardest things to do in sports, Sydney, she's already got 4 pinch hits. The Razorback season record held by the great Lenny Malkin. 10 in 2019 for Lenny.
And to pinch hit, it is one of the hardest things in all of sports to do. And for Ramsey Walker, she has had success time and time and time again being put in this role. I mean, you're coming off of the bench. You haven't been seeing live at bats. Really got to hone in on and focus on the information that's being passed back to you from your teammates and evaluating what the pitchers are throwing and how they're setting up the hitters. I mean, man, it's so much to digest. But she has had uber success in her role.
Has been in a starting role as well. She started yesterday, in fact, finished 0 for 2 at the plate, but not indicative of the offensive threat that she is, hitting .429 on the year. This one popped up, though, to third. Linda Muth has got it, and the side retired. The first 2 reach, but Harrison slams the door. Last chance for the Bulldogs as we go to the 7th. Well, this crowd has been treated to a back-and-forth ball game. Razorbacks have never trailed, although it's been tied after the scoring was open 4-0. But right now, a 2-run lead here coming into the 7th. Peyton Burnham, Sydney, has been, quite frankly, awesome in relief here today. Came on back in the 3rd inning.
And that she has, I mean, she got 5 outs in a row after giving up a hit. And just the way that she has worked so quickly and efficiently, Josh, working early in the count, just pounding the strike zone, utilizing her off-speed pitch, has really set the tone.
Emily Digby, the leadoff hitter. Has had some monster moments in her career, including a homer in Supers last year. A win that forced the if game in their Super Regional at Florida. Burnham, though, the freshman All-American from a season ago, looks pretty loose out there in the circle. Very comfortable. And kind of had that in the postseason as well. 3 wins in 4 appearances in the NCAA tournament, including that gem that she threw against Ole Miss in this ballpark, that complete game 3-hit shutout in game 2 of the Super Regional. That was after the no-hitter she threw in the regional opener against St. Louis. Good battle here by Digby. Got her swinging.
Huge pitch for Peyton Burnham, just setting Digby up in a battle, and she pulls the string with this off-speed pitch, a little bit more elevated in the zone.
After fouling off 4 straight pitches, Burnham finally able to get her. Perfect 2-for-2 day for Bailey Lindemuth at the bottom of the lineup. And this lifted up into center field. Johnson under it, makes the catch. Bulldogs are down to their final out. And they'll turn over the lineup card. Kirsten Roos to the plate.
I'll tell you, Josh, with the way that both of these teams' offenses swing the bat, it just allows the pitching staffs to pitch so freely.
Low for ball 1. Kirsten Roos, great find for them from Coastal Carolina, and she extends the ball game. Scorched past a diving Italia Rio. And the tying run will come to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning. Now, Roos, a great student athlete, already a couple of degrees, and so she went into the portal early, in fact, in the fall, before her final year at Coastal Carolina, because she knew that the kinesiology degree that she wanted to pursue wasn't going to be there at Coastal Carolina, and so she has great memories, experiences there, but went into the portal in the fall, and Georgia found her, recruited her during that season. She committed before the year was even up. This ball well hit to center. 1 hops to the wall. Good one. A frozen rope. And the first hit of the game for Jaden Goodwin. The tying run in scoring position now.
And the resiliency from Jaden Goodwin, coming up with 2 outs in a clutch hit, just driving it off of the center field wall. This swing, just the way that she gets inside of the ball, and for Reagan Johnson playing more into the right center field gap, she had no chance.
Sarah Gordon now to the plate. First pitch strike.
I'm going to tell you something, Josh. The ball that Roos hit, Reagan Johnson cut it off and limited her to a single. If she would have let her, if that would have gone past her and she would have advanced a second, she would have scored.
Great point there. Bulldogs down to their final strike now. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded, diving, stopped by Rio, hops up, throw not in time. How on earth did she even keep that in the infield? But give Gordon credit, down in the count, 0-2. keeps the game going. And now the tying run on third.
And what an all-out effort by Rio, keeping that on the infield.
That was scorched. As Courtney Deifel will make a change here. Razorbacks clinging to a one-run lead. Robin Heron into the circle. Don't go anywhere. Heron, the starter in yesterday's opener, called on out of the bullpen here to try to get the save. Arkansas 7-5 lead entering this 7th inning. And Peyton Burnham, who had been going really strong, retired the first 2 hitters, but 3 straight hits, the last of which Sarah Gordon on an 0-2 pitch, an infield single. Tying run at third, the go-ahead at first base. And so Robin Heron going to come and try to close this thing out for the Razorbacks. They've already seen her stuff yesterday, but day to day in this league, it doesn't matter what happened yesterday, as you quickly find out. Facing Tyler Ellison. But just for the sake of it, Ellison had the best day at the plate yesterday. 3 of 3 with a walk and a home run. Not all of that was against Heron, of course. A pair of base hits against the lefty. Already 1 save on the year for Heron. Misses the bottom edge, 2-1. Grounded to third, thrown across, McDowell makes the play, and the Razorbacks win it. 7-6. In a thriller. What a game, Sydney.
Josh, you cannot paint it any better than what we just got to witness. Gritty performance from both Arkansas and Georgia from start to finish. And Robin Heron responding from yesterday, coming in and getting the last out. Huge.
Georgia made it interesting, trying to come from behind yet again, but the Razorbacks hold on, and it sets up what will be a thrilling Game 3 tomorrow. To decide the SEC opening series, it's going to take a Game 3 in a top 15 matchup, 2 Eastern tomorrow from Bogle Park. So glad you could be with us for this one. For our entire crew and for Sydney Parr Lee, I'm Josh Haley. Good night from Northwest Arkansas.